every corner of this country, in the heart of every community, there is a quiet but powerful force at work. It is not driven by profit alone. It is not owned by a few. It is built by ordinary people for extraordinary purpose. Welcome to the world of cooperatives. So what exactly is a cooperative? According to the International Cooperative Alliance or ICA, a cooperative is an autonomous association of persons united voluntarily to meet their common economic, social, and cultural needs and aspirations through a jointly owned and democratically controlled enterprise. In the Philippines, Republic Act 9520, the Philippine Cooperative Code of 2008, defines a cooperative as a duly registered association of persons with a common bond of interest who have voluntarily joined together to achieve a lawful, common, social, or economic end. In simpler terms, a cooperative is people helping people. It is owned by its members, managed by its members, and the benefits go back to its members. The very word cooperative comes from the Latin cooperare, meaning to work together. And that is precisely what it means, working together for one another. The cooperative movement was born out of hardship. In 1844, in a small town called Rochdale in England, 28 weavers and artisans, exhausted by poverty and exploitation during the Industrial Revolution, pooled their resources and opened a small store on Toad Lane. They called themselves the Rochdale Society of Equitable Pioneers. These humble workers established the foundational principles that cooperatives worldwide still follow today. Their store offered fair prices, honest weight, and profit shared among members, revolutionary ideas in their time. From that small shop, a global movement grew. By the 20th century, cooperatives had spread across Europe, Asia, Africa, and the Americas, touching agriculture, banking, housing, healthcare, and education. Today, the International Cooperative Alliance counts over 3 million cooperatives worldwide, representing more than 1.2 billion members, making cooperatives one of the largest economic forces on the planet. In the Philippines, the cooperative movement has deep roots. As early as 1915, credit cooperatives, known as rural credit associations, were established under American colonial governance to help farmers access affordable loans and break free from the grip of usurers and moneylenders. Through the years, cooperatives evolved alongside Philippine history, surviving wars, martial law, and economic crisis, always returning to serve the most vulnerable. A landmark moment came in 1990 with the passage of Republic Act 6938, the Cooperative Code of the Philippines, and the creation of the Cooperative Development Authority, the CDA, as the primary government agency mandated to promote and develop cooperatives. In 2008, Republic Act 9520, the Philippine Cooperative Code, was enacted, strengthening the legal framework and providing cooperatives with greater autonomy, tax exemptions, and government support. Today, the CDA reports hundreds of thousands of registered cooperatives across the Philippines, in schools, barangays, workplaces, and communities like ours. What sets a cooperative apart from all other types of business is not just its structure. It is its philosophy. Cooperatives are rooted in the belief that economic activity should serve human dignity, not the other way around. People are not tools of business. Business is a tool for people. This philosophy rests on 3 pillars. First, self-help. Cooperatives believe that people have the capacity to improve their own lives, and that by organizing together, they can do more than they ever could alone. Second, self-responsibility. Members take ownership of their cooperative, its successes, its challenges, and its future. There is no passive membership. Every member matters. Third, democracy, equality, equity, and solidarity. Decisions are made collectively. Benefits are distributed fairly. No one is above the cooperative, and no one is left behind. This philosophy is not just written in documents. It lives in the daily actions of every cooperative member. The ICA formally adopted the 7 cooperative principles in 1995 in Manchester, England. These principles guide how cooperatives operate and are recognized globally, including by the CDA here in the Philippines. Principle 1. Voluntary and open membership. Cooperatives are voluntary organizations, open to all persons able to use their services and willing to accept the responsibilities of membership, without gender, social, racial, political, or religious discrimination. Principle 2. Democratic member control. Cooperatives are democratic organizations controlled by their members, who actively participate in setting policies and making decisions. Elected representatives are accountable to the membership. Members have equal voting rights, 1 member, 1 vote. Principle 3. Member economic participation. Members contribute equitably to and democratically control the capital of their cooperative. At least a portion of that capital is usually the common property of the cooperative. Surplus is allocated for cooperative development, benefiting members in proportion to their transactions and supporting community activities. Principle 4. Autonomy and independence. Cooperatives are autonomous self-help organizations controlled by their members. If they enter into agreements with other organizations or raise capital from external sources, they do so on terms that ensure democratic control by their members and maintain their cooperative autonomy. Principle 5. Education, training, and information. Cooperatives provide education and training for their members, elected representatives, managers, and employees so they can contribute effectively to the development of their cooperative. They inform the general public about the nature and benefits of cooperation. Principle 6. Cooperation among cooperatives. Cooperatives serve their members most effectively and strengthen the cooperative movement by working together through local, national, regional, and international structures. Principle 7. Concern for community. Cooperatives work for the sustainable development of their communities through policies approved by their members. While focusing on member needs, cooperatives do not close their eyes to the wider community they are part of. Beyond principles, cooperatives are anchored on a set of core values, ideas that define what the cooperative truly is. These values, as recognized by the ICA and the CDA, are self-help, self-responsibility, democracy, equality, equity, and solidarity. And in the tradition of their founders, cooperative members also believe in the ethical values of honesty, openness, social responsibility, and caring for others. Under Republic Act 9520, cooperatives in the Philippines come in many forms depending on the needs of their members. These include credit cooperatives, which provide savings and loan services, consumer cooperatives, which offer goods and commodities at fair prices, producer cooperatives, which help members produce and market goods, multi-purpose cooperatives like ours, which combine 2 or more cooperative functions, and service, marketing, agrarian reform, transport, and housing cooperatives, among others. Each type addresses a specific need, but all are united by the same philosophy, the same principles, and the same values. What makes a cooperative truly different from other business organizations? In a corporation, profit goes primarily to shareholders, often a small group of investors. In a cooperative, surplus returns to the members, the very people who created it. In a corporation, power is proportional to capital. The more shares you own, the more votes you have. In a cooperative, every member has one vote, equal voice, equal dignity. In a corporation, the customer is a source of revenue. In a cooperative, the member is the owner, and the cooperative exists to serve them. This distinction is why cooperatives have survived and thrived for more than 180 years, because they are built on human values, not just economic logic. The Cooperative Development Authority, the CDA, is the primary government body mandated to register, regulate, and develop cooperatives in the Philippines. It provides technical assistance, training, and policy support to ensure that cooperatives operate in accordance with the law and cooperative principles. Registration with the CDA gives a cooperative legal personality, access to government programs, tax privileges, and the credibility to operate and grow. Our cooperative, the Leyte National High School Multipurpose Cooperative, is a duly registered cooperative under the CDA, proudly operating in compliance with Republic Act 9520 and guided by international cooperative standards. A cooperative is more than a financial institution. It is more than a store or a lending facility. It is an expression of a community's belief in itself, that ordinary people, working together with honesty and purpose, can build something extraordinary. The LNHS Multipurpose Cooperative stands on the shoulders of the Rochdale pioneers, on the labor of Filipino cooperators before us, and on the commitment of every single member who chooses to say, "I belong here, I will contribute, I will make this work." As you complete this famous training, remember, understanding your cooperative is the first step to strengthening it. And strengthening your cooperative is how you build a better future. For yourself, for your colleagues, and for the community you serve. Together we grow, together we thrive. That is the power of cooperation.